Semaglutide has been implicated in causing a specific type of blindness. It's the active ingredient in both Ozempic and Wegovy, two medications currently being used to treat type 2 diabetes and obesity. It's also being compounded as well. Hi, I'm Dr. Messina. The Journal of the AMA Ophthalmologic Division released an article that showed a relationship with developing a very specific type of blindness in people who have either diabetes or obesity and with taking either Ozempic or Wegovy. The blindness that they have made an association with is NAION, a nonarteretic ischemic optic neuropathy. What that really translates to, the cause of this blindness is not from an artery clotting off or rupturing. It's from an inflammation that occurs in the front part of the optic nerve. And the optic nerve takes the information from the retina to the brain, and that's how we see. That optic nerve is becoming inflamed, and the inflammation in that optic nerve is reducing the blood flow and therefore oxygen flow to that nerve. NAION presents in a very specific fashion. It's sudden, it's painless, and most often irreversible. You might wake up in the morning and find that your vision is slightly blurry. You're then going to notice that you've lost vision, usually in one eye, but it could be both, from the center down. Even though this blindness usually doesn't involve both eyes, and it's not complete blindness, you still have vision from the midline up. It will be life-altering. It'll be very difficult to walk around. It'll be very difficult to see sidewalks. Driving might become impossible because you're going to have a difficulty in seeing the visual field in front of you and possibly children in the street. So even though it's not complete blindness, it will be extremely life-altering. In this study, they took 16,827 individuals who either had type 2 diabetes or obesity. And then they did a comparison. Those who had this condition who were not on semaglutides and those with those two conditions who were on semaglutide. And they found that the people who were on semaglutides had an increased risk of developing that type of blindness. The study showed that people who were taking semaglutide who were diabetic had approximately a 4-fold increase in developing this type of blindness. And if you were obese and taking semaglutide, you had approximately a 6.7-fold increase in developing NAION. The relationship, though, is a bit cloudy. You see, the people that get NAION tend to have specific risk factors. They tend to have diabetes, they tend to have hypertension, they tend to be obese, and they tend to have sleep apnea, which, for the most part, will be all of those people trying to take the semaglutide to lose weight. However, when you looked at this chart, you did see an increase in the people who had these conditions, who were taking the semaglutide, compared to the individuals who were not taking the semaglutide. So there is something there, but how much is truly uncertain. And why would a semaglutide cause this problem? Semaglutides really work two ways. When taken for type 2 diabetes, they help deal with insulin resistance and help put out a little more insulin into the bloodstream. When taking it for obesity, it's a higher dose. And what it's doing, it's releasing a peptide that decreases your appetite, therefore you lose weight. So how would it then cause that neuron to become inflamed? And how would it decrease the blood flow to that neuron? That's the uncertain part. Whether it's the conditions these people already have and the semaglutide is pushing them over the edge is going to have to be taken up in future studies. So what can you do at this point? Well, it would have to take some careful consideration. The Ozempic already has a host of medical issues, from development of malignant thyroid tumors, to pancreatitis, to gastric motility issues, to muscle wasting. And now we could add potential blindness to the mix. If you're taking it for obesity, I would discuss it with your doctor and see, is it worth continuing it? If you're taking it for diabetes, there are plenty of drugs that are available to treat type 2 diabetes very well. And if they don't have this potential side effect of the NAION, then you might want to take a different medication should you be using this drug for you controlling your type 2 diabetes. So I hope you understand a little bit more about the situation. The internet has been full of information about this, and it might not be as serious as it seems up front. It's going to be a decision you're going to have to make on your own as to what's right for you. If you do like my videos, give me a thumbs up, hit the bell for future videos, and subscribe, and I'll catch you at the next video.